So one time I went and heard this young jazz vocalist. And as she took the stage, her presence was recognizable. Her voice was pure and beautiful, and she understood the technique of jazz. But as the night went on, I kept thinking something is missing from this performance. What is it that is not quite there? And then it dawned on me. I couldn't hear the pain. Jazz is not jazz until the pain shows up. And it wasn't her fault. She had only lived a few short years. She had yet lived long enough to have pain show up in her voice. She still needed time to season, unlike Billie Holiday. She understood pain. When she would sing, there was this thing that would happen. Your ears would be happy, but your heart would be sad, because Billie was familiar with pain. Born a generation out of slavery to a 13-year-old girl. She herself violated as a young child. She worked in a brothel, divorced, drugs, poverty, pain. But Billie knew something, the same thing we discovered last night from Shonda. When you go through pain, don't waste your pain. Hold on to it. Draw it near. For as one author has said, the goal when we have pain in our life is to finger its jagged edges until it smooths out our soul. And that's what Billie did. She didn't waste her pain. And that explains one of her most famous songs, God Bless the Child. Where did that song come from except she went over to her mother's house one time and she was always helping her mom out. And this time she needed her mom to support her. She said, Mom, I need to borrow some money. Can you give me some money? And her mother said, no, I'm not going to give you any money. And that hurt Billie deeply. So she went home. What does she do with the pain of the conflict of her relationship with her mom? She chose to embrace the pain, to hold on to it. She put pen to paper, and that's when she began to write that song, God Bless the Child, where she begins by quoting Jesus and sorting through her relationship with her mother. Billie Holiday died at the age of 44. Cirrhosis of the liver. All she had in the bank was 72 cents.
Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own, that's got his own.
Jazz knows what to do with pain because jazz is the child of the blues. The blues are this musical art form. You have 12 bars, and the idea behind the blues is you have a verse and a chorus. And if you have something painful in your life, you sing the verse and then you sing the chorus. And if you still have pain, you just start back over again and you sing more about the pain and the troubles in your life, and you get to the chorus. And you just keep going through that loop. It is therapy, and you're just singing through it until you finally reach the chorus where the smile shows up. And when you smile, you know you've held on to your pain long enough. One scholar calls it tragic, comic, hope. Tragic, comic, hope. Tragedy that gives birth to comedy, comedy that gives birth to hope. That's the blues. And once you realize what the blues are, you can then open up your Bibles and you realize that our Bibles were written by blues people for blues people. Anybody in pain? You open up Genesis chapter 1. God made everything good, and then we ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and shame and death entered into the world. Tragedy. We tried to cover our shame by sewing leaves together. Comedy. the seed of a woman will crush the serpent's head. That's called hope. Job had everything and then lost everything. That's tragedy. Job says to God, I need you to meet me in court. This makes no sense. I have done nothing wrong. And God shows up and says, here I am, Job. You wanted to talk to me? Brace yourself like a man. That's translated into our language. You might want to put on your cup, Job. I'm going to hit you below the belt. Comedy. And Job said, I know my Redeemer lives, and in the end, he will stand upon the earth. That's hope. It was Maya Angelou who asked the question, why does the caged bird sing? How do we explain that? Why does the caged bird sing? How can you pluck a bird out of the sky and take its freedom away and then put it inside a cage and lock it up and give it enough time, and pretty soon the caged bird begins to sing? Why does the caged bird sing? Ornithologists say the reason why a caged bird sings is the same reason a free bird sings. They sing for love. There's just something in them that always holds out hope for love, that if I sing long enough and loud enough and beautiful enough, maybe love will find me. Maybe love will come my way. That explains the caged bird we know as Jesus. There he was, skewered on the cross. He couldn't move, couldn't even bat a fly from his eyes. But as he hung there, what did he do? He began to quote Psalm 22. Did he sing it? My God, why have you forsaken me? And he sung it until the smile showed up on the third day. That's called hope. And that's why the caged bird sings. Because wherever there is a love supreme, there is always hope.